Hey everyone, my name is Lindsay. I am a flight attendant here on YouTube, also known as Trolley Dolly. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are answering 10 of the top questions that you have asked us on YouTube, on Instagram, on Snapchat, any social media forum. You have asked us and we are answering them. This is a flight attendant tag that was created a couple weeks ago, so I'm kind of late to the game. Sorry guys, I've been busy traveling and doing some fun stuff that's coming near you. So without further ado, let's get these questions on, shall we? All right, so the first question is, how do I become a flight attendant? Well, it's very easy. All you have to do is get a device that can go onto Google, and you're going to type in this website that I'm going to leave down below, and it has a list of all of the airlines that are hiring at the time. Now, airlines work really oddly, like they don't actually all hire at once. They go in spurts of hiring. So like Delta usually puts their application out maybe in January, and then Southwest will put theirs out in June, and it goes in spurts. They're not all hiring at the same time, so you have to be very careful when you are applying, and it does take a very long time to hear back from certain airlines, and the process is kind of long if you are applying for a mainline airline. And then you just research. You research what airline you want to work for. By researching, I mean, do you want to work for a mainline? Do you want to work for a regional? Do you want to live at base, or do you want to commute? It's all these different types of things that go into effect when you are picking the airline you want to work for. But I would definitely go out and just apply for every single airline that is hiring. And like I said, I will leave the website down below for you guys to go check that out. Do you have any remedies for jet lag and bloating? Well, my answer to you is jet lag. It just, you know, there's sleep involved all the time. You just have to get as much sleep as you can when you are a flight attendant, and jet lag and everything like that. I take a lot of melatonin when I'm in different time zones just so I can get sleep. And as far as bloating, it sounds really weird, but I take Pamphrin every time that I'm flying a longer day, just because it does help with bloating and all that kind of stuff. And you can find it for like $2 at Walmart, super cheap. And I just keep a bottle of that in my bag, and if I know I'm having like a longer duty day, I will definitely pop some Pamphrin, and it helps with the bloating tremendously. Also, I think drinking water does help. It can make you a little bit more bloated if you drink a lot of water, but I just feel like drink water, even to prevent dehydration. How many days do you get off? Well, it just depends on my schedule. When they build our lines, we are supposed to get 15, either 12 or 15 days off for sure. But you can drop trips, swap trips, you can pick up trips on those days off as well. I have a line, so I have a set schedule. Usually I like to have about 12 to 13 days off just to keep my sanity, and I like to group those in to a couple days here and there, like 3 or 4 days at a time if I can. 2 is a minimum. 1 is really hard with commuting, just because I'll get home one day and then I'll have to fly out the next day. So commuting, it takes a different toll on days off, but I can get as many or as little days off as I want to. How long is reserve at your airline? Well, it differs depending on bases. I started in 2013, 2014, and I was only on reserve for 1 year, and then I went off for a year, and then I went back on to reserve for 1 month. That was the worst month of my life, especially after having a line and having a set schedule and not having to talk to scheduling or anybody, like having your phone off and then going from that to back onto reserve was kind of hard for me. But every airline is different and every person is different. Sometimes people do bid reserve if they want like certain days off that they need, like Christmas or stuff like that, just because they can hold it, like a senior reserve day that has Christmas off. I would personally never do that just because I don't want to be on reserve ever again. It just depends on the base. With my airline, there's this girl that she was only here for a month, and then she was based in Portland and she went off of reserve within a month. So it really just depends. How do you pick your base? Well, with my airline, we're smaller and we only have a few bases, so it's when they are hiring. And then let's say we're hiring for Minneapolis and Portland, and I wanted to go to Portland, then I can go to Portland at the time. But we have to be hiring for that base for me to swap over into that base, and we have to be hiring in Minneapolis so somebody can take my spot as well. I just can't say like tomorrow, hey, I want to go be based in Vegas. Like, just can't do that. So we have to be hiring for that, and when I applied it was only for Minneapolis base, and I was fine with that because I was living in Minneapolis and I was on reserve, and it just worked out for me, and I liked Minneapolis when I was on reserve, but now I'm in Florida. How tall do you have to be for your airline? And I just got the answer. It is exactly 5'2", so pretty short. I would say for just like more more detailed, be able to reach into higher spots. Like if you can't touch your closet, like the top shelf of your closet, like I can't touch the very, very top shelf of the closet, but I can top, you know, where the bar is. If you can touch up there, because you have to be able to get into overhead bins, I feel like you're good. So probably 5'2", maybe 5'3", 5'4". I'm 5'5", so we'll go with that. How many years of customer service experience do you need? I would say probably about 2. They definitely do look for customer service experience. They don't look for airline experience whatsoever, but I would definitely say 2 years of customer service, just to be on the safe side. So I was actually a lifeguard, and then I worked at Charming Charlie for a couple of years, and I was also a nanny. So that's my customer service experience, but everyone is different. But yeah, I would probably for sure say at least 2 years of customer service experience. I get this question asked a lot. Any tips on passing the interview portion? Just be yourself, look the part, and don't be fake. Like, they can see through fake people. They can see if, you know, if you research, there are some websites out there that people will ask the interview questions and get the answers, and people, like, the interviewing people know if you did that. I did do interviews for a couple months at my airline. I'm not sure what's happening back there. I did do interviews for a couple months at my airline, and I could see fake people. I could see if people weren't being themselves. What are you doing?
Trying to do pot.
Oh my. Making a cameo, are we? Oh my! What is that? I can't even show you what's going on right now. It's definitely rated R, what's happening. Magic Mike in the house. Anyway, so be yourself, look the part. That's all you have to do. What made you want to become a flight attendant? Well, I love to travel. I hate school, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And at 21 years old, being a flight attendant sounded awesome, and it is awesome. It's a great job, great opportunities, flying with great people. It's fun. That's why I wanted to be a flight attendant. My attention span for a 9-to-5 desk job is definitely not one in my personality, and I couldn't work as a lifeguard or at Charming Charlie for the rest of my life. So I needed to do something, and I just thought, why not? And at 21, I moved up to Minneapolis, not knowing anyone, not knowing a thing about Minnesota, and look where I am now. So you just never know, and I've been to some great places. I've met some awesome people. Best decision of my life, and thanks to my mom, because she's the one that sort of pushed me to do it. And look, I met somebody that's in my life, and they are truly my #1 person in my life, and he's great, and I just adore him and everything. Oh, I'm tearing up. And if it wasn't for this job, I would never have met Eddie. So that's why I wanted to be a flight attendant. And no, I did not want to be a flight attendant, data pilot. That is another question I get asked a lot. No, that was not even in my mind at all. Not at all. It just happened. Any advice to new flight attendants? My advice to you guys is to make the best memories you can. Take so many pictures, create a new Instagram if you need to. It's just, you don't want to forget any memories that you may have. Also, something that I wish I would have done when I started is have a journal. I think I might do this for 2020. I can't believe it's gonna be 2020, but I might get a journal, and every trip that I have that I'm flying, I might write like a special memory that was during our trip, you know, something that happened, something bad, something good, I don't know, just so I can look back on it at the end of the year. But definitely for first year flight attendants, I would suggest doing that, because you want to see, because there's so much that happens during your first year and it's crazy, and you want to know, like, you want to look back on it. And I wish I would have done that, and I wish I was smart enough to do that, but I wasn't. But definitely create like a journal or like a vlog channel or something that you can look back on your memories. And like I said, take lots of pictures, and don't be scared to go out and travel by yourself. If your crew doesn't want to go, that's when you see the best places. There will be slam clickers, there will be people that have been to, you know, New Orleans or stuff like that, but just go and do it. If you've never been there before, just go. Don't sit in the hotel room if you have a long time. Like if you have a 25-hour layover in New York City, take that train, girl. Take it and go to Manhattan and get yourself a slice of pizza and explore and go see the Statue of Liberty. That is my advice to you. And there's a bonus question. It says, is there anyone you would like to collab with in person from YouTube? It could be from the beauty, lifestyle, or even a fellow flight attendant. There are so many fellow flight attendant vloggers that I would love to collab with if I ever had the opportunity, which I never will in my life. But I would love to collab with Shane Dawson. He has been somebody that I've followed for the last like 10 years on YouTube. Like he was one of the first YouTubers I ever watched, and I constantly watched his channel even when he was like doing his food videos and his weird like seen on TV videos and stuff like that, and then he went into conspiracy videos. I've seen every video, and I'm loving his new series right now with Jeffree Star, and I cannot wait for the palette. Now on a more realistic level, I don't know why, but I've been following like school teachers and nurses on YouTube, and I don't know, I would like to collab with one of them because they have such a different lifestyle than I do. I mean, it's sort of similar, like teachers and nurses, you know, we're kind of doing the same thing, just like differently, if that makes sense. But there is a girl, her name is 5'1" teacher, I believe. She is so cute, and I will leave her information down below. I would definitely love to collab with her one day. And or this other girl, her name is Holly Gabrielle. She is a nurse and she's super cute, and I love her channel. I get a lot of like different like lifestyle tips from her and stuff like that. So I follow her and 5'1" teacher like religiously on Instagram and on YouTube. So those are some two people that I would love to collab with outside of the flight attendant world. And or Shane Dawson. Love him. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, and I will leave everyone that has answered the top 10 flight attendant questions down in the description below. There are a couple of us that have done this, and everyone's answers are probably going to be a little different, a little same, but you know, it's good to get a variety of answers and a variety of people answering these questions. So make sure you go check out their channels. I will leave them down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.